Hey gang, how's it going? So, in my efforts to do more video content, I'm going to start here. I got up the bravery to go ahead and start modeling. And this is one of the first model structures I've ever built, put together. Model Man Mike, whose YouTube page I'm going to put in the links below. His videos really inspired me to go ahead and just get started with it. So this is the first kit I put together. This is a Model Power 2 industrial silos is what it's called. This is going to be a small portion of my cement factory. And because it was a cheap kit, about $15, I thought that I would go ahead and just start with this one, and if I ruined it, then hey, it'd only be about $15 out in the whole. Went together well. Came with a ton of extra parts, including like a vertical conveyor, a bunch of ladders and walkways going for something. There's no instructions as to what those parts are for, so I'm guessing they're additional add-ons that you could add onto this, but where you put them, I wouldn't know. The molding's pretty good. It's a little thick in some areas. I think this is an older model, so it's a little thicker. But I think it'll be okay. I think it'll work real well with the rest of my scene. As far as having issues putting it together, I really didn't have many issues. I went ahead and used this glue right here, 10X7R. And a brush, and brushed the glue on that way. I like this glue a lot. I think I want to get an eyedropper for it because I think it'd be a little bit easier to go on than the brush, but the brush works really well. It's a real thin liquid cement, not goopy or anything at all, and really bonds the plastic well. I didn't really have to let it sit for too long at all. Painting it, I painted it flat black as a primer, and then a metallic silver Rust-Oleum paint. That made it really bright and shiny. So I went ahead and went over again with a dull coat, and that brought the color down to it's still nice and shiny, but it doesn't look like aluminum, like, you know, really shiny brand new aluminum. It's got a little bit of it's just a little duller. It's nice. I'm going to weather it up quite a bit, but until I get the rest of my factory together and really know what I'm going to do with weathering, I'm going to hold off on weathering that. I did have a little trouble with this ladder when I put it together, where it was connected here at the top with two little glue points right here and here, but there's nothing connecting it to the bottom. So I went ahead and took some of the extra parts and made a little bit of a brace right here and braced that ladder to it. So it looks a little funky from this side, but it's going to be displayed from this side here, so you really won't be able to notice it at all. Other than that, pretty good. The flashing I didn't get off as well as I'd like. You can see it right here. That didn't come off as nicely as I wanted it to. So, but I think once I weather it, I'll be able to hide a lot of that. I could maybe go back and resand it, but I'm gonna see what I can do with weathering it and making it a little bit better. But yeah, so that went together well. Took a couple hours. Painting it took a couple more hours. It's my first model structure ever. So thank you, Model Man Mike, for those inspirational videos that finally got me to get off my rear end and get this built. So with my success from that, I went ahead and started with a larger structure. This puppy right here. Look how huge that is. Let me back this camera up a little bit. Sorry to shake you around here. Pull the lighting off of it a little bit. Oh. Well, anyway. Big structure. Why can't I get my camera back far enough? There we go. These are the larger silos, so for scale purposes. There you go. These silos didn't come together quite as smoothly. This section here and this section here had a large gap in between. In fact, if I turn these silos around, you can see this large gap. And it's really noticeable down towards the bottom here. I didn't like how that gap looked. It's a little hard to see right here. So what I did was, on the side that's actually going to be facing outward, I added a couple strips of styrene along the side just to kind of fill in that space there. And I had to put a strip of styrene across the top because it actually didn't meet up at the top where it was supposed to. It met a little bit lower, so I put a piece of styrene across here. That didn't, you can see it's got a little bit of a rough edge. This whole section here, I'm going to add some pipes running up and down here. I'm not going to put a conveyor because I don't think that would really work for what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a storage bin, so there won't be a conveyor, but I'm going to run pipes up here and maybe along this edge, and then coming over to some bins up top, just to kind of hide that, I think. Or maybe block it, do a little bit of a view block. Pull the eye away from it. And I'm going to weather this as well. So those are just two structures from a larger, much larger kit bash cement facility I'm making. Tonight I started putting this one together. This one's going to be another structure as well. So yeah, that's about it. Turned out pretty well, I think. This layout's on its way. Alright. When I get more, I'll show you. Thanks for watching, guys.